In this week's episode of Working with Evernote, it's all about post-it notes. Hello, my name is Carl Pauline, and in this 67th episode of Working with Evernote, I want to show you some of the pretty amazing tricks Evernote can do with your post-it notes. Now, I'm not a big user of post-it notes myself, but I do know there are a number of things that you can use post-it notes for. For example, capturing somebody's telephone number. Of course, you would put their name on the post-it note as well, but capturing their telephone number, their name, and what the note is about. You might want to capture a quick reminder, or you want to capture some reference material or something, a name of something. Now, the thing about post-it notes is I can't remember exactly how many years ago now, but certainly 3 or 4 years ago, Evernote did a special kind of post-it notes, certain types of colors of post-it notes that you could use that would trigger an action within Evernote. Now, this is something I completely forgot about, and it's not, as I say, something I use frequently because I don't actually use post-it notes that much. But I do know a lot of you guys do use post-it notes, and I've seen post-it notes all over the place. And because they come in multiple colors, you can actually set up Evernote to recognize the color and then send that note to a specific notebook. It's a really, really cool trick. I like to think of it as a bit of a magic trick within Evernote. But for those of you guys out there who are using post-it notes, this is a really cool thing that you could actually use to get much more usage out of Evernote, and also automate some of the things that you might want to do. Now, the only thing you'd have to remember is what color post-it note refers to which notebook. So you don't want to go mad with this, but there is only, I think, 4 colors that Evernote will use. But I'm going to show you how to set it up, how to use it, and also to show you how this all works in Evernote. So again, as last week, I'm going to have to show you this on my mobile device because it's not a desktop feature, but it does obviously fit into your Evernote notes. So before we go any further, please, if you like this video, click on the like button below, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's get straight into this, and I'll show you how to use your post-it notes with Evernote and its special notebooks. Okay, now first of all, I need to warn you that I have the wrong size post-it notes. The post-it notes that you need to use are the 3x3 square or the 11x11 square. So this is not going to work exactly how I want to show you, but at least I can show you how to set it up and also how technically it will work. Although I will be honest, this is not going to work because the post-it notes that I'm using are not the square post-it notes. So basically you need to use the square post-it notes. These are the notes that I keep in my notebook because as I said at the beginning of the introduction, I don't use this feature that often, and it's a long time since I have used it, if I'm being perfectly honest. And so I'm afraid this is not going to work exactly how I want it to work, but you get a good idea exactly how to set it up anyway. So let's start off with taking a note. So I'm going to use the neon green color here, and let's say I put a telephone number down, so 010 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and that's Mr. Kim. Call about workshop. So, okay, so this is, let's imagine that I've spoken to a Mr. Kim on the telephone. He says, can I give him a call about something next week? So there I have the actual color. It's in neon green. Now let's take my phone, and what we're going to do now is set up Evernote to accept the colors. So to get into your settings, you need to go into account and then settings, and to the post-it note section, it's click on your camera there and post-it notes. You'll see down here, you see there it says post-it notes. So we click on the post-it notes. Now I've got two set up. I've got electric yellow, which is set up for a reminder. So basically what that would mean is if I put in a square Evernote note as a reminder, as a photo, then it will come up as a reminder, and I will need to add in the time, so it will come up in my reminders list in Evernote. But I also have my limeade color here, which is set up to go into my incubator folder. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest, this is not going to work because my post-it notes, the only ones I can find, are the wrong size. But at least you can see what you can do. So you can actually create a post-it note can go into any of your notebooks. You can also add any kind of tag that you want into your post-it note. But I'm just going to, for now, you can see how it's set up. So let's go into my notes. And what I want to do is click on this to get my camera. So I click on the camera and I go into this. So zoom in, get the note. Captured, and what you'll see is it's actually captured it in green. Now I can actually make sure that it's post-it note, but if you're using the right post-it notes, it would recognize it and it would set up whatever action steps that you want to do. So it's a really good way of using Evernote and post-it notes together. Now a few years ago, as I said, Evernote used to make their own post-it notes in collaboration with Post-it, but they don't do that now. But if you use any of the standard, the four colors here, so we've got the yellow, the pink, the blue, and the green, then they will work. But as long as they are square in shape. These are not square in shape, so it's not actually going to work. So when I click on save on my phone, this is just going to come up as an untitled note in my inbox, as you can see there. But if it was a square post-it note, this would go into my incubator file. Now, of course, I can capture numbers and telephone numbers, and I can put them into my name card folder, whatever I want to do. Okay, hopefully this has given you an idea of how you can use post-it notes with Evernote. They are really, really cool, and if you use post-it notes a lot, I think you'll find that it is a very, very useful addition to your Evernote. Okay, thank you very much for watching this episode. Please join me again in the next episode, and it just remains for me to wish you all a very, very productive week.